First of all, you got the memo about the dress code. So congratulations on
top button crew, right?
Showing up and looking the part. 6 games into your initial college football season. Walk us through the mind of Jonny Linehan. How have the first 6 games been for you?
Man, it's been a roller coaster ride, but I mean, I expected it to be a roller coaster ride, but at the same time, I didn't really think it would be as maybe difficult, the transition. Over the summer, I did a lot of work trying to figure out how to kick a football, both traditional and rugby style, and felt I, made a lot of progress. But obviously, as we've seen, I've been rather streaky this season, and not as consistent as I would have hoped, or I feel as our team would have hoped or needs me to be. But probably what's most on my mind is just trying to get better every practice, every week, and just trying to be patient with myself. I always speak in my own head. I'm like, just be patient with yourself. But at the same time, it's almost like, well, you can't be patient with yourself forever. So I've just been trying to make different goals and achieve them each game. And I feel like I'm in the right direction, even though I might not be going as high as I would have liked to be at this stage.
You mentioned both styles of punting, and we saw some great traditional punts from you in the last game against East Carolina. Saw the rugby punt get blocked. Not your fault. You need to block people. But what do you prefer right now? Where do you feel most comfortable? Is it the rugby style that you've grown accustomed to, or are you like transitioning into the traditional way now?
Yeah, so it's interesting when I explain to people that, what's the difference? Why do you kick it end over end? And it's kind of interesting because punting is more dynamic than I feel people give it credit for, and so are most of the special teams.
Punters are people too.
We are definitely people, and I mean kickers are, and even deep snappers are. I mean, we have the long snapper, and they all do a great job, and it's awesome to be on their crew. But it's interesting in regards to the kicking style, like. Rugby style, it's a lot harder to kick the ball because you kind of lose that sweet spot, and if you don't hit it right, then it doesn't go as far and there's less margin for error. But kicking traditional, I love practicing that because it goes so much further and it's so much easier to kick it like that. But on the flip side, kicking rugby style is so much more effective, I feel, because you can direction it better and it gives your team or your coverage team more time to get down the field. So it's kind of as we see on the film and as we see during the game, it's the call we make.
Your first fake punt was a success. Walk us through what was happening during that play against East Carolina.
Well, you say success, but I mean, on Monday during film, everyone was like, why didn't you take it to the outside? I'm like, you don't have to tell me. I watched it 400 times yesterday, during church, watching it, getting up and getting mad, and Bishop wondering what's going on. But no, it was awesome to run the ball, and when they called it for me to go out on the field, obviously I would have an option to do a read if I feel I roll out and they're not covering, but going left, if the fake's not on, then you lose because it's hard for me to kick right-footed running left, and so that was one of the calls the coaches made, and it was awesome. I was so excited, but at the same time I was really nervous because that was my second time on the field. The first time was less than optimal, like they blocked the punt and scored a touchdown off it. But it was pretty cool, but at the same time, I need to learn how to hold the ball better because I was holding it like a rugby ball, and the East Carolina players were trying to rip it off, and I think they were talking trash afterwards, and I was like, you don't want to talk smack to me right now because I'm already ticked. My punt got blocked, so don't even test me right now. But at the same time, I got the first down, which was great. A lot of credit to the blockers, for sure. But I got the first down, and at the same time, when I watched it on film, there was a crease for me to go on the outside and have a one-on-one with the returner. So I feel like overall as a team, we achieved our goal, but yeah, there was definitely more that could have happened from it. But we scored eventually from it, and it was great.
You worked in some style points with the spin move and the additional yardage, right?
And I was trying to keep my hand down so I could stay on my feet, but yeah, no, it was really cool. I hope we do it more often, but yeah, keep that on the down low.
I asked your coach to explain you last week, and Coach Mendenhall said he's kind of like a mix of Crocodile Dundee and Mad Max. And I was like, cool, not really sure what that means. Yeah. But what do you think when you hear him say something like that?
I have no idea what that means. I'm just going to say that's a great compliment. That's awesome. Crikey. No.
He did say that you have this attitude of, okay, if I don't do something right the first time, I'll do it right next time. And if you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. I will show you that. And so he also said that. So maybe that's a better thing to go off.
Okay, yeah, that gives me a little something to go off. Yeah, he's definitely right on that. I guess kind of growing up, I felt I was relatively small and more of an underdog. So that's kind of a mindset I've had, is just prove people wrong, do it right. That's why I'm really enjoying the challenge of football. And I know a lot of people say, oh, he's just a punter, or he's just a kicker, or he's just this, just that. You know, he doesn't play an important part. I feel like every part, you know, on the football team really matters. You know, even our equipment crew, our coaches, obviously, everyone plays a crucial role. And so I think what Coach Linehan is saying about me being more out there, I might be one of the more vocal punters, because I feel like I could take on some of the players. And if they're not doing their job, I feel like I can get in their face and be like, man, like, I've seen you do better than that. Like, give me more energy, because at the same time, I want to win just as much, maybe even more than they want to win, because I hate losing. And so I can only affect, you know, a few plays every game. But the other players, I feel like I try and motivate them a lot in their face, jumping up on the sideline, getting excited with them, because they can influence how I feel at the end of the game, you know, and how Cougar Nation will feel. So I feel like I'm just more vocal and just more explicit in that manner, yeah.
I know that Cincinnati is the next game, and you want to win every game you play, but you look at that, well, if BYU beats Cincinnati 5-2, Wagner after that, a bye week after that, you're setting yourself up for what looks like could be a special late season run. So, and I asked Mitch this question too, how do you stay focused on the one game but not get caught up in the, well, what could happen?
Yeah, it's the same question as, like, how do we stay focused on what may happen rather than what could have been, you know? Because I mean, we lost to UCLA, you know, by like 1 or 2 plays, and then, you know, we really feel like we felt going into the season we can win every game, but we knew that it would be a game by game mentality that we'd have to take into it. And I feel like one of the ways that we don't get caught up in that is just making sure that we hold each other accountable. Because, like, who knows, like, we don't want to write off any team, you know, even Wagner, you know, we don't want to write them off as a win before we've done work on them, because they might come in and be like, hey, like, who's BYU to tell us that they're going to beat us, or what's this? So each team, and that's the beauty of college sports and college football, is it doesn't matter, you know, who you're playing, it matters who wants it the most. So we have to stay hungry, stay humble, and just practice hard. And so I think that's how we keep each other focused. And Coach Linehan does a great part of that. Last week in one of our team meetings when we played UConn, he showed us some film after that game and showed us the sideline. And he showed us what he thought were some great plays, and showed that we weren't very motivated on the sideline. And, you know, that affects the team. And so just trying to keep each other motivated game by game is going to be key, I think, to a successful season.
I think I know the answer to this question, but are you having fun?
Oh, I'm having so much fun, but at the same time, like, I don't think I've ever been this stressed in my life, because, like, I don't want to let the team down, but at the same time, I'm having so much fun. It's such a blessing to be a part of it, but at the same time, I don't just want to be a part of it. I want to be the best. I want to be the best part that I can. So I have to be patient with myself and have fun, but I feel like each game is moving in the right direction.
Hey, don't mess with him if you block his punt, right?
No, you don't want to do that again.
Jonny, good luck against Cincinnati.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, man.